The Unexpected Cosmology is an online magazine. That's how I like to think of it. And I guess you could say it's my baby. I've been turning out new articles every single week for years. But there's also a steady flow of guest writers. One of the guest writers, I guess you could call her a guest writer, that I've been really excited to work with is Miss Pamela. She's a member of our Unexpected Cosmology Discord group, and I've mentioned this in the past, but it seems like everybody that I've been working with now come through the community. The Unexpected Cosmology started out, at least conceptually, as something that I was going to branch out to many members of the Torah Truther community and have them contribute. I no longer do that. I actually don't feel comfortable doing that anymore, but that's a whole nother conversation. You can see right here on the right-hand side of the page, the Psalm Project. That's Pamela's contribution. This is how Pamela describes the Psalm Project. She says, "The Psalm Project represents my desire for a deeper understanding of the word of Yahuwah. It is not a mechanical translation, a one word for word exchange from Hebrew to English. We have those. This is a lyrical adaptation of the many possibilities hidden in the Hebrew, arranged with consideration for the poetic and musical intent of the original writer. I pray you are as enriched in the reading as I was in the transcribing." So, Miss Pamela has been releasing a new psalm about once a week. And so, the psalm I wanted to read from today won't be published until tomorrow, Psalm 91. Because her psalms are not a word for word translation, they read very differently than how we would expect to read psalms in our, King James Bible. This one in particular, though, Psalm 91, really excited me. If you've been following my research lately, then you'll know that I've been talking a lot about the idea of the camp of Yah, which is described in the book of Revelation. The camp of Yah sits in the center of our greater realm, or in the whereabouts of the center. I mean, it's assumed it's in the center because Satan is released from prison and he surrounds the camp of Yah in the four quarters or corners of the earth. And he goes about to deceive the nations with the purpose of assaulting the camp of Yah, invading it. The camp of Yah, of course, is never overtaken. It's not only a safe haven, but I would also argue it's hidden. It's on a mountain that nobody here in the greater realm knows where it is. That is, anyone who is not in the intel community and doesn't have the right clearance. Psalm 91 seems to be describing this mountain that is hidden away from the world, where the traveler who reaches it is safe under the protection of the most powerful El. That's a really exciting thought. There's an angel of darkness mentioned here, a cherubim, which is not the same as a seraphim, mind you, and Hasatan, as far as my knowledge goes, is a seraphim, not a cherubim. So we're seeing a different angel of darkness at play here. It talks about Leila, the night terror. We see images of dragonhide. We are told the adversary has troops in the company of 1,100, and that they invade this mountain and they're all cast down, thousands upon thousands dying violently. It's a really exciting psalm and very epic. I mean, it has a Lord of the Rings feel to it. You can clearly see the light, the goodness of holiness being surrounded on all sides by evil and darkness. But as grim as it may look or feel to the weary traveler who's reaching this mountain, there is never a moment that the Most High doesn't have control of the entire situation. With that, I'll begin reading. Psalm 91. He will sit down in quiet and abide in the hidden place, the covert of the mountain of Elyon. Turn aside, weary traveler, rest, find lodging in the shadow and protection of Shaddai, the most powerful El. I will boast of Yahuwah, the one to whom I flee. He exists, my mountain castle, my Elahai. In his dwelling will I be surrounded, will I be securely fenced in. Yes, he will snatch me away like plunder, from ruin and destruction. He will deliver me from those who plot and plan, and from the net which they spread out to entrap me. By the most powerful El, I escape. From plague and death, and from deep chasm. Beneath the covering of his wings, the interwoven pinion feathers, he will shut you in. Here, you will go aside, you will take refuge. As a barbed shield, as a buckler crafted of scaly dragon hide that guards with prickliness and with piercing cold, his truth shall protect you. You will not tremble in fear. You will not reverence the night terror, Layla, who twist away from the light. And during the days and the time periods between the rising of the sun until the going down thereof, the arrow that flies shall not pierce you. In Araphel, cherub of darkness, pestilence walks about. He lays waste with destructive acts of violence. The teeth of the destroyer appears at midday. He shall fall, the adversary. His troops, 1,100 in company, are cast down at your side. Thousands upon thousands die violently to your right, yet Nephal shall not approach near you. Only with your eyes shall you consider, shall you perceive the retribution against those who left the correct path, the morally wrong, the guilty and condemned. Because you have set in place Yahuwah as your refuge, Yahuwah, who is my support, because you have determined Elyon as your dwelling place. Therefore, you will not encounter misery. Calamity shall not happen to you. You will not be broken by distress. No spotted plague shall draw near in the tabernacle of your home. For he will give command to make his malakah, his messengers, to guard you in all your journey. In the palm of their hands they shall lift you up and carry you away to prevent your feet from being smitten by the builders. Upon the lion and the venomous serpent you shall walk. You will stamp upon the young lion and the sea monster, because he is attached to me, because he clings to me in love. I will cause him to slip away, to escape. I will lift him up and set him in a high, inaccessible place, because he intimately knows my name and my character. He will cry out, I will answer tunefully. I, Anoki Yahuwah, will be with him in his tribulation. I will gird him for battle. I will burden him with riches and honor. With length of days and abundance will he be satisfied, and he will see with his eyes my Yeshua.